Hi guys, it's Mike. I'm back again for Kaline Design with a geometric ink blended pattern. I called it leaded window because it reminds me a bit of a church window maybe. And I made it by cutting a hexagon out of a piece of plastic. This is actually stencil plastic, but you can use acetate or cardboard as well, or cardstock, but it's just not very durable. If you have them, document folders, stuff like that. So I think this is a very Dutch brand. And yeah, well, I have it, but it's also no longer in stock where I bought it. So it's also very staticky, so don't mind the cat hair. You try to wipe them off, but they keep coming back. And then I also die cut some really thin strips randomly in different thicknesses, but thin, skinny ones. If you have those nail art tape, I do have them. I couldn't find them, but I think they are too strong for my card stock anyway. They will rip it. And I'm positioning them very randomly in a kind of a, yeah, I don't know, random, very arbitrary decisions there. I didn't want to be straight, and I didn't count how many I've used. Actually, I have one left, but I felt this was enough coverage. So I pressed them to make sure it doesn't come off. And I'm using distress inks for my ink blending, and I'm using rainbow colored. And I'm starting with barn door, and I forgot that I did mask off that, but not the neighbor areas. So I have to do that as well. If you do it all in one color, you could maybe do an ombre from top to bottom in, let's say, blue or green or purple, whatever you like, and then you don't have to mask off everything. And I do want the small bands, because when you remove those, they will appear white, making that leaded window effect. This is carved pumpkin. Then I'm putting them next to the red, of course, because that's my rainbow idea. And then it's a bit of masking. That's why I think if you do one color, it might be a little bit easier. And I thought I always use circles or those bands across the card base, and I thought I should just do something else. And you can do this any shape, of course, in maybe a rectangle, or if you have those Gothic window, that might be fun. I don't have that, so maybe my scanner could have cut it. Well, I don't know, I didn't check, but I went for hexagon. And round, square, rectangle, triangular, well, that's a difficult word. Might be fun as well, but and of course you can try and tape it a hexagon on the card base, but I thought that was too much for my skills. So that was mustard seed. Now I'm applying twisted citron with a little bit of mowed lawn, because I thought it was a bit strong as twisted citron alone. So then that was still mustard seed actually, but there's my twisted citron and mowed lawn. It's a bit dark, but twisted citron is very in your face, I think. So the more divisions you make, of course, the more little patches you get, and the more you have to mask off. But I don't mind. It's nice to do it a little bit. And I try to reuse, of course, my tape as much as possible. Sometimes I just turn it the other way, so that now there's green on this side of the tape, but I've turned it around and, you know, it doesn't touch the blue. It's okay. But this tape is very low stick, so, you know, once you move it once or twice, then it just won't stick anymore. So here I thought maybe I'll just do the corners a little bit darker, and then I thought, nah, I'll just do the whole thing. It's a nice color when you combine them. And I'm sure you can do this with any color that you have. I like the vibrancy of distress inks, but if you have oxides, you can use those again as well. And now here I'm deciding where to put the blue. I need another green. See, that's I didn't take in account how many squares or areas, patches, whatever you call them, I got. But it doesn't matter because I only have one purple in there, and lots of green actually. But as I said, in the Dutch version, there's also a rule I learned in art school, but that was 84, 85. So there's a rule in primary colors that yellow is the brightest, so you always use the least of it. So if you were to do all the same size squares, you would do 1 yellow, 2 red, and 3 blue to get a balanced effect. And man, did I have to color many squares. Yeah, but that's I don't know, 30 something years ago. 35, 4, 6, I don't know, long time ago, and those rules might have changed by now, but I still try to take into account what I learned. Actually, they didn't have distress inks back then. You don't want to know how I did the graphic design back then without computers and just East Indian ink. Ugh. Yeah, and compass usually. So, but yeah, it's fine. I'm not sure how that's called. There was also in my compass they said there's like a little drawing pen, but it's not a nib pen, but it has like a tweezer shape, and the tweezer between the blades would hold the ink, but not always. So almost done with your project and then blop, the ink would fall out. That was, yeah, long live computers. Anyway, that's a little bit too much information maybe for you, but it's a progress. I mean, I went through from when I was young till now. You see things change. And this is the gefeliciteerd blokletters. And it's really funny because it's nice and bold. But because I put on the, let's call it, my glass shards randomly, it doesn't matter how you put it, it will still look crooked. And that's because of the lines. They trick your eye. But that's why I use my little grid, so I know it's straight. And I put it off center a little bit, just because I like that. And Versamagic Onyx black ink. You can use any ink that you have, and all my black inks are drying up. I need to get refills, but it's a bit hard at the moment. So I hope you're all doing well, and you're staying inside as well, by the way. So I'm working on my design team stuff ahead. Quite a long time ahead, but yeah. This is twice, and then I thought I could do another one, but I didn't want to risk it after all this work. What if I stamp it crookedly? Yeah, then. So I left it. And also dry, everything. But it's dry, but yeah. I'm drying it to be sure I don't want any smudges. And you can see that the line underneath the sentiment makes it look crooked. It's really funny. I pulled out a few enamel dots. I'm putting them in a triangular fashion or shape, and I'm just using red and blue and green, and then some really tiny rhinestones, actually from my nail art days as well. And they're nice and small, and they give a little shimmer. So if you want to try this, consider doing it in one color, like maybe all the, I keep calling them squares, but they're not, all the shapes, maybe all in blue, from light to dark, or randomly, or green, and you can match them to the favorite color of the recipient. And I don't know who's going to get this, so I went for rainbow. But as I said, that's more work because you have to mask it, but I don't mind. So that's my card for today. Here's the rhinestones. I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe you will give it a try. might have plenty of time on your hands like me. So thank you for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye!